Hi, Terry here again. This week or this morning I'm thinking about warrior, the warrior in us, or more specifically the warrior in me. Younger decades of adult life, I really did have a pretty strong warrior. Wasn't a harsh one where I tried to eliminate other people or to push them down, but there was the warrior in me that I would defend pretty strongly. If softly, I would defend. I'd try to convert people to my way of thinking. I would stand against threats to family and so on. And I think there's a warrior in all of us. Maybe it's a wounded warrior where really abused or confined tightly, that the warrior didn't have much voice. But in younger decades of adulthood, I think the warrior is pretty strong in most of us. And a good thing, for parents to be warriors and defend their children, or to build companies or build churches, or in terms of religion, convert people to our tradition and the religion and so on. And the warrior is there. The warrior can be strong. And when opposed by a strong person, the warrior learns to be strong back. So the warrior in us, we fight for things. We fight for our family. We fight for our organization. We fight to build more. We fight against threats, or we fight for our country. We sing the national anthem at sports events, which is very much a warrior song. Just listen to it sometime. It's a warrior song that we sing regularly, reinforced. Then I think about the aging warrior. In my mind, with my value system, the very valuable aging warrior. I think of it this way. It's not that I've retired the warrior in me. Someone once, I don't know if I read it in a book or whatever, that said we all in our minds or in our thoughts and our internal discussions have like a table, a round table, let's say, and with various aspects of who we are. And I remember the context was that we still have our parents sitting around that table giving us voices, or those early influences, or being raised in the church. There's the voice of that early religious upbringing, whatever style that is. But in terms of the different parts of who I am, there is the learner at the table that says, hey, let's sit down and learn something more about this before we act. There is the relational side of me that says, hey, before we're too quick to push away, let's build a relationship and see where that goes. And I think when younger, the warrior that sits at the table has a pretty strong voice. Feel threatened? Okay, the warrior speaks up and said, we need to push back. We need to be strong. Or in terms of a church, we need to grow our church, we need to grow our religion, or the other religions are a threat, so we need to find ways. And I taught courses on defending our faith, and how do you talk to someone who's a different tradition and win them to our way of thinking. And I joined the Marines when younger to be a pilot there until they found something physically that I couldn't do that. So to defend country. So that warrior has a pretty strong voice. And I listen to politics right now, for example, and we have a bunch of warriors. Even if they're 60, 70, 80 years old, they're still talking to me like a 25, 35-year-old warrior, fighting against the other political party, or attacking other countries, or a warrior standing at the border, with immigrants and refugees. The warrior is there. But I believe that as we age, there's something very valuable about the maturing warrior. Maybe it's a weary warrior, that the warrior is not quite so quick, not so agile to jump up and do it. Maybe it's a wiser warrior that says, hey, I have a voice. Is this something that we should push back on? Is this something that we should fight for? But isn't automatically jumping up and demanding things. And that other voices are stronger. The voice, the contemplative self that was in my earlier decades of life silent, even if that part of me was at the table at all, the one that just said, let's just be silent and sit with this. Maybe the wisest thing we can do is nothing. And just pay attention and just breathe for a while. Or the relational side that says before we attack, maybe we build a relationship and see what this person is struggling with or how they were wounded. Maybe it's the learning self that speaks as loud as the warrior that says before we try to convert them to our way of thinking, let's learn everything we can about what they're saying or what their tradition is, and maybe they need to convert aspects of who I am to their way of thinking, or maybe they can inform my tradition and I can learn things about, in my case, following Christ in the way of Jesus. That this other tradition can teach me a lot about what some blind spots maybe. So the warrior, am I still a warrior? I would say I'm not a warrior, primarily a warrior. I still have a warrior at the table. I have that aspect of me that if there are things that I feel very strongly about that need to be pushed against, okay, the warrior's still there, but not an attacking warrior, not a warrior that's the default position. There's a threat, warrior. No, there's a threat. Okay, let's breathe, let's learn, let's relate, let's think about it, and the warrior is there. Maybe it's appropriate. So think about the warrior in you. Where was the warrior important, crucial in your earlier life? Was it to protect your family, to protect your company, to protect your religion, to protect your country? And how has that warrior matured? And again, my value system is, I hope that part of you has matured. And I would hope that in our national dialogue, there would be wise, maybe some weary warriors. And in our politics, I wish for less warrior talk, more relational talk, more caring talk, more learning talk, and so on, along with the warrior aspect. Maybe that's, in a sense, one of my greatest disappointments in our national dialogue right now, in our national politics, that seems to be dominated by warriors. I don't know if non-warriors have more trouble getting elected. I don't know. Wounded warriors, weary warriors, wise warriors. But I don't know how to fix that other than some voting and speaking up from time to time. But I do know that I can be maybe less of a warrior and more of a transforming presence, knowing that the warrior is there. I haven't lost the skills, and if need be, I'm sure I could generate the passions for it. But think through your warrior self. How has your warrior matured? How might your warrior mature? Well, talk to you next time.